Growing up, we all had superheroes in our minds. We watched programs that showcased people or characters rather, who had super strength, who were indestructible, who were able to do things that we as humans cannot really do. And we looked up to those characters. We looked up to the different characters that were put before us. And I know a lot of us imagined being them, being in their position. But I think it also made us look at different things as we grew up and changed from those characters that we saw on screen to actual humans who lived in our lives, who are part of our journey, who are part of our environment. These people came in the forms of mothers, fathers, siblings, aunts, uncles, cousins, friends. They came in so many forms. And as you grew older, you were able to say, wow, I think mom is my superhero. Or I think my brother is my superhero. Could be your father as well. The question that Wellington is asking today is, despite the fact that these people in our lives are superheroes to us, who's actually going to save Superman and Wonder Woman? Have you ever taken a second to think about that? Well, that's the subject for today on The Well of Inspiration. It's a brand new week, a brand new episode of The Well of Inspiration. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Make sure you follow us. Make sure you share for more motivational content. If you're joining right now, there is a whole playlist of The Well of Inspiration. We have teamed up with The Well of Inspiration to bring you content of motivation, wellness, and content that will allow you to grow both personally and professionally. Wellington joins me again this week for another episode of The Well of Inspiration. Wellington, karibu sana, welcome back.
Thank you very much. How are you doing, Dawn?
I'm doing good. I'm doing great. I'm doing fabulous. I'm ready for another episode. I need some more inspiration injected into my life. So tell me.
Me too. Let's go for it. Let's go for it.
Let's go for it. Today's episode, I'm quite liking the sound of today's episode, but for our viewers, just let's give them a bit of insight as to what you're talking about today on The Well of Inspiration.
Okay, so today I want us to dive into the world of superheroes for a moment and look at who is going to save a Superman or Wonder Woman when they need to be saved.
Love it.
You know what? When I was growing up, my favorite superhero character was Superman. I found him to be this amazing, invincible human being, invulnerable. He had power, he had charisma, and he could do unimaginable things. And I looked around me, and that was the kind of person that inspired me and encouraged me. And I used to think, wow, when I grow up, I want to be a Superman. But the reality is that I cannot be a Superman. But when I look around me, I do realize that there are people in our lives that we can consider to be our superheroes, our Supermen and Wonder Women of our lives. And today, I would like us to dive into the discussion of how we interact and live our lives together with our Supermen and Superwomen, and whether or not we are positioning ourselves as individuals to be there when Superman and Wonder Woman need us. Because, hey, it doesn't matter who you are. You may be a superhero, you may not be a superhero, but from time to time, we all fall into the gutter. When that happens, who is there to save you? And the question we have today is, who is going to save Superman and Wonder Woman?
Wow, Wellington, I love this. I'm loving the way this has began. I know it's going to be an interesting episode on The Well of Inspiration, and I think a lot of people are going to learn a lot from this episode when we look at this subject. Let's dive into it.
Certainly. You know what? I know that everyone who's listening to us today, everyone who's watching this episode, you have, as I'm talking right now, you are playing in your mind your very own Superman. You're playing in your mind your very own superhero character, superhero personality in your life. It may be someone close to you or someone you watched from a distance, but they become your superhero. But here's the question. Who really is your Superman? I want us to talk about Superman before we talk about Wonder Woman, because these are different aspects of our lives that I believe we should tackle separately. Who is your Superman? If you recall, Superman is a fictional character, a superhero that first appeared in the comic books, in American comic books, and we all embraced this character, and it was a true archetype of a man, of masculinity, and of a hero who goes out there and does things for other people and is celebrated for their achievements. That was Superman. When I consider my life, my Superman was my dad. He is the man that I looked up to when I was small, the person that I considered to be my go-to in any situation. If you were to fight with me on the street and I run home, I will run home. I will tell you that I'm running home to tell my dad, because as far as I was concerned, nobody could beat my dad. He was my Superman, right? And as I am saying this to you, I know that each of us is a Superman. Who is your Superman? It could be your dad like me. It could be your brother. It could be your uncle. It could be your son. It could be your teacher. It could be somebody who was in the neighborhood when you were growing up, who inspired you, who you looked up to, who exhibited the personality and characteristics that made you want to be like they were. Who is that person? And once you identify who they are, I want you to consider this. Where are they today? How are they living? How is their life? When was the last time you were in touch with them? Are they okay? How is their health? Are they financially okay? Are they mentally okay? When was the last time you paid your Superman a visit? You know what, friends? We might go through life and all its difficulties and sometimes forget that the Superman that was once in our life at a certain point, strong and pushing, may be in a vulnerable position at this particular time. Sometimes because age takes its toll. Sometimes it's because of health issues. Sometimes finances happen to people and people find themselves in situations where they now need to look up to somebody else for assistance. Listen, my friend, it's an opportunity. The fact that you are listening to this message today is an opportunity for you to take stock of your Superman or the Superman in your life. Consider them. Consider where they are. Consider how they're living. And think about doing something for them. After all, they are your superheroes.
Wellington, this is very deep. This is soul touching, and just the way you've put it out there. You know, where is your Superman today? Are they in a position where they need you? Are you doing what you need to do to help them? Because time passes, and because we're not actual superheroes like Superman, where we are indestructible, we are humans, we age, we get sick. We get into financial problems. Are you in that situation where you can help, or will you help that Superman who was in your life? And I can tell you right now, when I was growing up, when I was a little girl, I think my dad had a part to play as my Superman. And as I grew older, my eldest brother, Adrian, he was a big part, and he still is a big part of Superman. To me, he's Superman to me. And they mold you, they teach you, they show you different things. He has been a big part of, who I have become today. And with my brother being my Superman, he's enabled me to find my own Superman that I can call a partner, Sham. He's my Superman as well. And with that, you can take it down the generations. And I hope one day that my son can look up to his father or his siblings and say, wow, that was my Superman. But what are we doing for them? Are we going to be there for them? Are we taking those steps to help them? I love this, Wellington. I really do.
That is the real question. That is the real question. And when we work on goals, when we work on dreams, and when we aspire to be successful, all our inspiration must come back and come full circle back to the Superman who was there for us in the beginning, showing us the way, guiding us, inspiring us, motivating us. We must come round back and say, Superman, are you all right? If Superman is in a ditch, be the one to lend a hand and bring him out. If Superman is in financial trouble, be the one to lend a hand and get him out of the financial trouble. If Superman is having some emotional issues, be the one to give a shoulder to lean on. Give them the comfort that they deserve. They are your Superman, after all. Who is going to be there for Superman when he needs somebody?
Wellington, I love this. I never thought we were going to go this deep into Superman. I just, I knew we were going to touch the surface, but this is deep and this is beautiful. And I think we as individuals need to ask ourselves, are we going to be the ones to help our Superman? Because if they were the ones able to help us and to show us the right way, to be there emotionally, to be there financially, why are you not doing the same if you aren't? And can you change their position? Do it. Do something. Help them.
I agree with you 100%.
All right, that's just the beginning of what we're talking about today. Who is going to help Superman and Wonder Woman? This is today's episode on The Well of Inspiration. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to The Well of Inspiration. Today's episode is about who is going to save Superman. Yeah, I know you're wondering if you missed a bit of the beginning. What is Wellington on about this week? It's very deep. It's very interesting. You need to identify that Superman in your life. I'm sure you already know who that Superman is.
Absolutely.
But are you the same person who's going to help your Superman? I know for me personally, it is my brother. It is my spouse. And I'm hoping that my son also would be able to say that it is his father and his siblings and those people around him who can be his Superman. Wellington, I'll hand it over to you.
You know what? We've spoken about Superman, the male figure, the male character in our lives that made the biggest difference. But here's the thing. Through the comic characters that were given to us as we were coming up, there was one amazing, powerful woman that also came our way. And just like Superman, Wonder Woman is a very inspiring character. She has some amazing abilities and she brings to life a superhuman personality that enables her to do so many things and use so many devices to save lives and to make a positive contribution to this world. That's Wonder Woman. You see, the fictional character Wonder Woman was created by a gentleman called William Marston, who felt that these stories were lacking a powerful woman who would set her mind on something and go ahead and achieve it with confidence and with power. And thus they created Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman is an amazing person. There's very few things she cannot do. But think about it. Even when Wonder Woman landed into the world, Wonder Woman went into a world which was brutal, a world which was confusing, a world which was challenging, in which she faced some amazing challenges along her journey. Wonder Woman, with all her power, often also needs some help. My friends, as you are listening to me today, here's my question to you. Who is that one inspirational woman in your life? There may be a few. Who are they? The women that make the amazing difference in our lives, starting with those that bring us into this world and give us an opportunity at life. Our mothers. But I know that in our communities we have our aunties, our grandmothers play a very big part. Our neighbors play a very big part. Our female teachers make a huge impression on our lives. And sometimes the way we move through our lives, the way we transition through the different stages is under the direction of a powerful woman or following the footsteps of a powerful woman. Just as in Superman, who is that superwoman? As I'm talking to you, I believe you are seeing a person in your mindset. You are seeing an individual, a personality that you looked up to for so long, that gave you the wings when you needed the wings. But my friends, here's the question that I have for you today. Where is your superwoman? Is she okay? How is she living? How is her health? How are her finances? Is she well taken care of? How is her health? Does she have somebody around her to help her? When was the last time you spoke to your superwoman? I know life gets busy, my friends. I know that we all go through challenges in our lives. But the question I have for you is, if that superwoman was that inspiring in your life, surely you can take some time to also complete the loop and come right back to them and check on how they are. Be the one who remembers your superwoman and comes back to them and celebrate them. Give them their flowers while they are still alive. Embrace them, celebrate them, provide for them, support them, lend a shoulder when they need a shoulder to lean on. Give them a hand when they need a helping hand. Even Wonder Woman will fall into the ditch sometimes. Your superwoman might be going through some difficulties, but my friend, it is your responsibility, it is your duty to come right back and lend a hand to your superwoman. But who is that superwoman, and what are you doing for your superwoman?
Wellington, today we are diving deep into the soul. We are doing that today. Wow, I love this. I think for those who are watching us today, they're gonna, take that moment, that second to just listen to your words, absorb them, and ask themselves, that raw question is, what are you doing for your superwoman? Are you there? Have you done something? How are they living? What is their situation? And for me, there's very many women in my life that I can say have been Wonder Women. Obviously, my mom is at the top till today. She is still there. She is still doing what she needs to. I'm a grown woman, but she's still there. She's still trying to be Wonder Woman in every way possible. And it's inspirational. And I think that's what we take away from these women who are phenomenal. That inspiration to be like them, to grow like them, to be better, people that we can possibly be. And I think the question as well, Wellington, when we're asking ourselves about these, Superman and Wonder Woman, the question is, don't you want to be a superwoman or a Superman for the next generation, your son or your daughter? And the way you treat your own superheroes is the way you would want to be treated when you're the age that your superheroes are now.
There you go. Speaking of you becoming the Superman for other people, or the Superwoman, the Wonder Woman for other people, Bon Jovi wrote a song way back. The song is actually called Superman. And I'm going to read the lyrics right now. It says, "Who's going to save you when the stars fall from your sky? Who's going to pull you in when the tide gets too high? Who's going to fix you the next time you break down? Stranded alone by the side of the road when your baggage begins to drag you down." And then he finishes it off by saying, "I want to be your Superman." You know what, my friends? as you are listening to my voice right now, as you watch this episode, the challenge for you is this. Just as other people have been there for you, exhibiting power, exhibiting confidence, exhibiting a personality of strength, you have the challenge and the opportunity to become that for another person. You've got the challenge and the opportunity to become that for those that looked after you when you were coming up. You've got the chance and the opportunity to raise the flag today and embrace those that have made a difference in your life and become their Superman, the light in their path, the person who lights up their day when the night is so dark and they cannot see the coming of the sun. When you choose to become another person's Superman, guess what, my friends? The more light you shine on other people, the more light shines on you. You can also become a Superman or a Wonder Woman. The challenge is on you. Consider this, that life is a full circle. As much as other people were there for you in the beginning, you need to be there for others. And those ones that you're there for today will also have the opportunity to be there for you. It's not a trade-off, but it is the business of humanity, the goodness of mankind manifesting in us being there for one another.
Wellington, this episode, it's everything. I have to be honest with you. I love it. And I think more so because you make us see what we need to see and realize sometimes, like you say, life is busy. You get to doing so many things. You're always on the go. You forget to take that moment, remember, recollect where you've come from, who has been there, why you are where you are today, the roof you have on your head, the job that you have, all the people who took the time to mold you, my mom, my siblings, my sisters, my friends, those people are the ones that you need to check in on and say, hi, how are you doing today? What is going on in your life? What can I help you with? Can I be your Superman or your Wonder Woman?
There you go. There's actually a quote from Wonder Woman which says, where Wonder Woman speaks and she says, now I know that only love can truly save the world. So I stay, I fight, I give for the world I know can be. You and I have a vision for our families. You and I have a vision for a better life for those who are close to us, our communities, our loved ones, our children, our parents. But the opportunity to make that world a reality is not sitting with anybody else. It is sitting with you. It is sitting with me. Let us take this mantle, my friends. Let's take this challenge and run with it and become the Superman and Wonder Woman for those that are around us, just as much as other people have been there for us. If those who were there for us are still living today, go round back to them. Check on them, provide for them, take care of them. They are your superheroes, and take the opportunity to become a superhero for them and for the generation that is to come. That is my call for you today, my friends, and I thank you so much for paying attention and for listening to this episode and watching this episode on YouTube. It is my pleasure all the time to give you information, ideas, and strategies that I believe will help us and take our lives, our businesses, our careers, our relationships, and even our finances to that next level of success.
And as you walk away from this episode of The Well of Inspiration, I hope you can ask yourself that question: who is going to save Superman and Wonder Woman and be able to actually do the saving? Be that person who's going to do the saving. Wellington, it's been a pleasure, and I'm in awe with this episode. I didn't expect us to go this deep, but I love it, and I hope that it can touch others the way it's actually touched me today. Don't forget, Wellington does have a website. It's www.wellofinspiration.com. We also have a website of our own at the Cradle of Life. It's www.thecradleoflife.co. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I mean, with this kind of motivational content, you really cannot go wrong. Hit that subscribe button and share this with somebody who you know has a superhero who they haven't been in touch with for so long because maybe their lives got too busy. Maybe they got turned in the wrong direction. Lead them back. Share it with them. Let them shed that light that Wellington has said, because the more light you shed, the more light you receive. Wellington, thank you.
Thank you so much, Dawn. Have yourself a wonderful week ahead.
And to you too. Blessings to you.
Thank you very much.